reason will prevail.
When I was going over there, read that. Have you watched that show? It's pure cringe, yes. So The Office is definitely off limits. That's maximum. Oh, the Empire one. I haven't seen that one, but I remember when it was out. What are you trying to do? I'm hearing music in the background. Is that on your end?
I don't know. Hello.
Hello.
Everybody. I mean, there was a music. There was a opening. What's up? Can everybody hear us? Can you let us know that you can hear me and Joe?
Hello, hello, hello.
We are live and we can hear, and everybody can hear us. That's awesome. So, hello everybody. Let me just fix that. Display capture should be smaller. Let me just fix that stuff. As usual, we have technical issues because I'm a professional, obviously. So, we are gathered here today to talk about Plato, of all people. I have no idea what's going on. Joe is a professional philosophy reader. Hello, Jason. Hello, Tone. Leeduli is Joe, actually. Hello, Pia. No injustice lasts forever. Hello, Bretta. What's up? Hi, Zintley. Thank you for saying hello. Friendo, what's up? Jalen, how are you doing? That's it. There you go. Joe, what are we talking about today?
Hello, hello. Now, professional philosophy reader is more like a philosophy hobbyist, but I'm a Wikipedia scholar, so
there you go.
That's where I'm at. But
professional
yeah, reading some philosophy.
Wikipedia scholar. There you go.
Yep. Yeah, so reading some, going through Plato, and as the vegans that we are, you know, you kind of read through some of this old philosophy, or you're watching a TV show or even a movie, and you always veganize it in your brain. So reading through the Plato's Republic, book 2, there's kind of a thought experiment that comes up about justice.
Let me share it.
And sure. And then, yeah, obviously our vegan brains, or at least my vegan brain, just goes straight to how does this connect to veganism? Yeah. So we thought it'd be a cool idea to go through it on stream, kind of the thought experiment and some of the philosophical concepts, and then go from there and then chit chat and see where it goes.
Yeah, totally. So let me read the story, the challenge, actually, right? So, sorry, can you give a background to this challenge? What is this text about, like a ballpark?
Yeah, so if anyone's not familiar with Plato's Republic, it's about, he had dialogues with Socrates, his teacher, and then also in the dialogues, Plato's brother Glaucon would join in. And basically they were talking about justice, and there were some different frameworks of how morality should be developed. And the Spartans kind of believed that, you know, justice was only what people were compelled to do by a greater power. You know, fear of punishment or the want for reward. Mm-hmm. And they called this moral relativism. and it was a framework based on egoism. And Glaucon, Plato's older brother, kind of believed that no one will willingly be just. They will only be just if they are compelled to do so. And he uses this thought experiment as a challenge, or as kind of like an example to show that when someone is given power, they will inevitably use it for injustices.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that's kind of the setup, and then you can read through the summary.
Okay. So the summary of the challenge is a man named Gyges. Gyges? Is that?
We think so. I googled it. I think it's Gyges.
Mm-hmm.
He was a shepherd in Lydia, which is a ancient territory in Greece. I think it's present-day Turkey, actually.
Okay.
But yeah, according to Google, I think it was Gyges or whatever. But you can go on.
Yeah. So a name named somehow Gyges, I guess, is a humble shepherd in the service of the king of Lydia. One day, an earthquake opens a hole in the ground where he's tending his flock. Not vegan already. Jesus, Joe, what are we doing? He descends into it to find, among other strange things, a ring, which Gyges takes and puts on. Later, at a shepherd's meeting, Gyges discovers that when he turns the ring forward the inside of his hand, others can't see him. He is invisible. Gyges, realizing this, gets up to some really bad stuff. He finds an excuse to deliver a message to the court, then seduces the queen. The two of them conspire to murder the king, of whom Gyges has sworn loyalty, and Gyges takes his place as ruler. So this sounds kind of familiar, even to a person like me who haven't watched the movie or read the books.
Yes. So my Wikipedia scholaring did reveal that J.R.R. Tolkien was inspired by this to write The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. And the Ring of Power from that book and film was inspired by this parable or thought experiment.
Okay.
So
what can we learn from this? Go on.
Yeah, so upon hearing this tale, people are usually kind of disgusted, and they usually agree that he acted unfairly and unjustly. But according to the relativistic morals of the time that were kind of ubiquitous, what he did would have been seen as moral because there was no punishment.
Okay.
So this is kind of like a reductio on that view that justice is only coming from a sense of punishment or a reward on the other end.
Yeah,
And
I could find three unjust things just in that thought experiment, like in that short story, right? First of all, that he's a scum farmer. Second, that he was made to be sworn loyalty to a king. I don't think that's a just thing to do to a free person, right? And third, I kind of assume that all kings are scum as well. So throwing him down could have been the most moral thing to do.
Yeah, and I guess what they... I actually looked up this term. They refer to it as moral hazard, but I think that's more like an economic term used today. But Plato believed that justice is a universal ideal. It's not just moral or relativistic. And he was showing that this story shows that you can't just base your morals on punishment or reward. There has to be something else to it.
But what Plato would say that something else is like some kind of objective morality, wouldn't he?
I think he would, but for him, the objective morality is something that we can agree with, I think.
Okay.
Which I wouldn't say it's objective. I still we're not going to get into objective versus subjective morality in this convo. That's going to
Why
brain rot
not,
me.
Joe?
But,
Why not? We gathered here already. We can do whatever we want. Go on. Sorry.
Essentially, Plato believed there were three aspects of human nature. One of them is the passionate nature, which is your self-interest.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, you can think of it like hedonism, or just like what gives you the greatest pleasure, or that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other aspect of human nature is called spiritual nature, is what he called it, which is truth-seeking.
Oh, interesting. Which is
and
like
then the way
closer
he-
to like more of a seeking justice through formal logic kind of situation, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then he believed that he kind of set up a little visual that there's another non-vegan thing, but he showed it as a chariot rider controlling two horses.
Mm-hmm.
And one horse is the passionate nature, and the other horse is a spiritual nature. And then he has two ropes holding the horses on the chariot,
Mm-hmm.
and he can tame either of them or let one loose. And he believed that tyrants always let the passionate nature horse drive.
Mm-hmm.
So the tyrants kind of have the ring on their finger at all times. They have all the power. They have no repercussions for their actions.
By tyrants, did he mean somebody that is trying to control morality in his time? Or did he mean something in the human nature, somebody can be a tyrant or not? I'm not sure I'm understanding.
I think by tyrant, he just meant a ruler, like the king or...
Okay. So yeah, so like some kind of a governmental outside source. We are approaching anti-conformist territory of conspiracy. Cool. What do you think are the chances that Plato used to be like a conspiracy theorist?
No idea. I should look into his... I should read his biography probably to find out more about him as a person. But yeah, he basically he believed tyrants with a lot of power allow the passionate nature to be untamed.
Mm-hmm.
And can you think of any present day world examples of that? Of people in power who get no repercussions for their terrible acts and act with impunity? I don't know, maybe some people that exist in power right now.
Well, yeah, all of them.
All of them, yep.
Yeah, I don't see. I'm not great with politics or geopolitics or anything like that, right? But I don't think there was a president that actually had the best interest of people he's governing since, I don't know, a long time, isn't it? It's been a long time since we might have had somebody that actually was ruling to have the people's best interest in mind. And not just like to like promote their own narcissism, to rule just to be a ruler kind of situation. Maybe Obama a little bit, but also probably.
Yeah, I think everyone gets kind of swayed by the power that they have, and
I think they seek that power. I don't think a person who's like truly well-intentioned can win.
Yeah, so I've always had that thought, like, maybe the person who should be in power is the one who doesn't want to be. And yeah, you have to like find this neutral, logical person. But the people who seek the power, they're really rich, they're seeking money, wealth, status, and because I'm the person, I would never want to be in power. I want to be in my basement here, and I don't want to be seen by most people.
Yeah. It's kind of from like governmental job, it became a kingdom again, to be like a leader of a certain party, right? So, but let's not talk about politics anymore. Fuck that shit.
So anyway, circling back to this three aspects of human nature, I only named two of them, the two horses. The chariot rider, taming these two aspects of human nature, is what Plato called reason. Mm-hmm. So that's the person who can tame the passionate nature and the spiritual nature in the proper kind of ratio, would be the the chariot rider of these two ideals, and it can help us like tame our selfish nature, and then let the kind of more logical nature come through, the spiritual nature, as you called it. I know if you say spiritual now, it sounds really cringe, but that's what he was referring to.
Definitions, man. He defined it as as logic. It's fine.
A semantic analysis on spiritual. He was basically talking about like truth seeking is what spiritual was for him. And so basically there's three more great philosophers. They were named Dennis, Mack, and Charlie from recent like philosophical texts. They have a quote that says, "Reason will prevail," and I think that's what Plato was getting at, is this sense of justice, that what is just can't really be derived from whoever's in power. It's derived from rationality, logic, and kind of something above whoever's in power. And this thought experiment just kind of shows you can't just use kind of an external fear of punishment or an external or internal reward for good deeds. You need kind of some kind of rationality to get your ethics sorted out.
Okay, Joe, so the experiment is the horseman analogy. Is that it? I feel kind of lost. So what's the thought experiment itself? What is it that?
Yeah, sorry. The thought experiment the ring of Gyges basically was just showing that when someone gets unrelenting power with no repercussions, they often will act with impunity for selfish interests. And then the chariot with the two horses is a different kind of analogy.
Okay.
And the horse that was self-interested was called passionate nature, and that he's getting at that most people would just do that if they had no repercussions, if they had no punishment. They would just follow their passionate nature. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I think as activists we know that to be somewhat true as well, even in the modern times. Kind of people, generally speaking, find it more persuasive to act selfishly, kind of.
Yeah, I've seen that. So we'll get to the vegan thing in a minute, but yeah, with the activism thing, I do notice that with like a lot of street outreach, people are always like, how is this good for me?
Yeah.
If I do this, it's like they look for like the health benefits or something. How does this benefit me? But that's really not our goal here with the justice that we're seeking. The social justice movements are for the people who are being subjugated, not for the tyrants and for the people in power.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem, I think. That's the biggest obstacle for us, to convince people to prioritize someone else, someone that rarely is considered to be someone, instead of prioritizing their momentary pleasure, for instance. Yeah. Sad days.
So I wrote down some thoughts, just thinking about this, because it's really hard to come up with actions that you personally do that are actually in a vacuum, that are just actions. And one of them I thought of is maybe giving to charity, but even that gives you kind of an internal reward, like I'm doing something good here. And then also I do give to some charities, and they send you like an email every 2 weeks, and if you get letters in the mail with like pictures of the animals and stuff, like you're helping the animals. It's like, so I do get these external rewards as well. So it's like really hard to find these kind of actions or behaviors that you do in a vacuum that are just, that actually have no punishment or reward to your brain, or even like to your physical being. Like the ultimate punishment is being imprisoned or killed. Can you think of any that, like any behaviors that are just to do?
I don't know if I should bring myself as an example. I suffer greatly for doing vegan activism. I don't want to do it anymore. But every week I turn on the camera and I go do it. It's to incredible
Yeah, so
detriment to me in many, many ways, in my opinion. I don't find satisfaction in it.
yep, and that's exactly kind of where my vegan brain went when I read this. Is in today's society, the biggest victims, as we all know, are the non-human animals on our planet, and most people are wearing the ring. They have the ability to act with impunity towards these beings.
Yeah.
There's no punishment. It's societally normalized, and they just do it anyway. And so I kind of thought like vegans are the ones acting justly. Basically, all humans right now are wearing the ring,
Yeah.
and the non-humans are the victims. And yeah, exactly what you said. Vegans are acting just in this scenario. There's actually a negative external consequence from our social circles, from society, from family, for us to be vegan. And it is really hard. We get dystopia. It sucks. I like have depressing thoughts going to sleep at night. I'm like, what the fuck?
I don't have that. I have a lot of hope, but it is dwindling quite often. It just like empties out, but then I find a way to replenish it again. I have a huge amount of hope. I don't get dystopia. Very often I do get like these pits of despair that are irrelevant to dystopia. I think we can win. I just don't know how. The disparity goes from I need to do better, I don't know how kind of situation.
Yeah, the thing that brings me hope, I actually met a new friend yesterday. We had dinner, and she was saying that she's very optimistic about the future every time she meets a new vegan. And yeah, I think going to vegan events and meeting vegans in real life really does bring hope. And if you go, we have like Veg Fest events here, and it just like everyone's on the same page. You go to these events, and everyone just gets it, and it is kind of hopeful to go to stuff like that.
I find most people cringe, so big events, not necessarily my thing. Sometimes they are. Yeah.
There are a lot of cringe. Yeah, I've had good luck at those kind of events though. They had one at the animal sanctuary we went to, and everyone's wearing vegan shirts, and the animals are there, and they're all really happy, and all the vegan vendors were there selling vegan food.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's just like, here's a bunch of like-minded people. They're all here for the animals, and it does give you kind of hope to like see that community. And yeah. I'm sure there's some cringe people in there, but there were probably some carnists there. Like, I want to see some animals. Look how cute. But
yeah. Oh, look how cute my future steak is. Anyways.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that there is some intrinsic benefit or like a reward in your brain. You might feel good about being vegan, like I'm doing something good here. But I think at the end of the day, most vegans, at least that I know, arrived at our position through, rationality, logic, and
I would say
I think,
even if it's not necessarily clear, even if it feels like a feeling, reaching the actual conclusion of veganism must have been logical. In my opinion, you just might take a while to understand it in retrospect, kind of situation.
Yeah, so to move to carnists, and I'm sure you've had this discussion with family members or friends where you have the vegan debate. You go through vegan bingo, you debunk every argument, and then I usually run name the trait at the end of it, or I usually start with name the trait, to be honest, but a lot of times people bring up veganism to me first. So like, they usually just like start asking me questions. It's the opposite of the meme, how do you know there's a vegan?
Yeah.
It's like, it's always like, oh, so you're vegan, huh? Where do you get protein? And I just like start answering questions.
Yeah.
But if I'm actually confronting someone that I think would be optimistic to our view or has the ability to have a behavioral change, I usually do NTT. But it's happened at least a dozen times in my life where someone just concedes and they're like, you're right. I actually agree with your view. And then they're going to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, their behavior is the same. They don't even change. They don't even go flexitarian. They just, oh yeah, you're right. you're on the right side of history. I usually use that that talking point too. Like vegans are on the right side of history. In 100, 200 years, people are going to look back at this atrocity and horror, and it's like, which side of history do you want to be in? It's like, yeah, you're on the right side of history. I want a bacon sandwich though. And
Yeah.
so that's kind of where I'm getting at with like this thought experiment in the Republic, the Ring of Gyges or Gyges, however you say it. The Carnists who get to that point and they actually realize that this is a great ethical harm, they're just going to keep doing this behavior with impunity, even when confronted with the ethical issue, even when agreeing that it's the correct thing. They'll just continue exploiting the animals, continue violating their rights, because at the end of the day, they can just get away with it.
Yeah.
There's
Don't
no
you think,
punishment. There's no
like,
external. Yeah.
yeah, don't you think like though that a lot of times by the way, our backgrounds are so similar. Don't you think that sometimes the claim that you are right, you are correct, you're on the right side of history from the carnist is a little bit of a thought-stopping cliche almost? They're stopping themselves from like experiencing the sharp end of the cognitive dissonance.
How do you think you would approach that if a carnist tells you that you're on the right side of history, you're right, but I'm just going to do the bad thing? I'm trying to remember, my brother said this to me recently because I got him to basically agree with my view. I actually sent him a manifesto. It was like a really long email. And he gave me a phone call and he was just like, yeah, you're right on all your points, but it's going to be a really hard time for me to go vegan. I don't see myself ever doing it.
Yeah.
And it just kind of like ended there. And it's just kind of depressing. It's like, why not? I sent you the empirical data that shows that you would save 150 animals a year just from that behavioral change. It's like,
Yeah, I just put vegan inconsistency in timeout. I think, guys, we're having an important discussion here. So stop fighting in the chat. Holy shit. I have a few trolls that are like really like coming in here and bothering the vegans. Sorry, can you repeat the last thing?
I missed a side chat debate. Oh, damn it.
Don't worry about it. Can
Sorry,
you repeat the last thing you said? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, sure. I sent my brother an email because we had like a tiff with the vegan thing. Mm-hmm. And I sent him a long email showing all of the points he threw at me. It was a bunch of like the vegan bingo type stuff.
Yeah.
We've all heard it 100 times.
Yeah.
And yeah, he basically called me and conceded. He's like, yeah, you're right on all your points.
What do you think is the chance that he read it?
He did. He said he read the whole thing. And I even linked Dominion, and he said he might watch it. I don't know if he has or will. I should make him watch it. Yeah. And yeah, like the one objection he had was like animals die on the road.
Yeah.
Because I'm a transportation engineer and I design roads. He's like, aren't the roads you design, aren't they killing animals? And because like kind of my NTT brain, it always just related to humans. It's like humans die on the roads, 40,000 a year in the United States alone. Does that justify gassing humans to death? Obviously not. And he's just like, I just debunked it all one at a time like that. And he's just like, yeah, you're completely right. I was actually half expecting he called me and I was expecting like rebuttals to my manifesto, but he just completely conceded. And then he said, it's just going to be a really hard time to see myself going vegan. I just don't see myself ever doing it.
That's the issue.
I appreciate what you.
In the end, it all ends, Joe. It all ends in the resistance to change. It's all ending there. There was a reason that I was working on that video for like literal 1 year. Resistance to change is one of those things that nobody can solve. If a person doesn't want to change, they won't.
Yeah, so kind of Glaucon in the story, Plato's brother, might have a point that most people just kind of just do what society deems correct. Mm-hmm. And I kind of agree with his view. Is just like, if there's no fear of punishment or a reward incentive for your behavior, it seems like most people just do whatever. And yet it seems like the vegans are the ones who like we're not even doing this for ourselves because it does kind of suck. Like my family hates me.
Yeah.
Like it's like, yeah, it's.
Somebody made the claim once in my chat, I think, that no, it wasn't in the chat. It was in English Hub or something. That some religions kind of harp on this thing of being ostracized, of being prosecuted, which is correct, right? And then he threw it at me as a vegan, right? Like me saying, I don't want to do this, right? I'm doing this because I think it's the right thing to do, but I don't want to do this. I don't want to live vegan. I don't want to do activism. I would have preferred to like continue living mindlessly, right? Generally speaking, and eat meat and all of that shit. But it's just unjust, so I have to do something about it, right? And he said, well, some religions have this persecution complex. I don't even think we have that because I think generally we hate it. We hate being prosecuted. We don't like it. We don't harp on it. We try to be accepted. We don't try to, like when religious cults, specifically like Jehovah's Witnesses or Mormons, when they use the persecution complex, they bring up the prosecution as a way for people to like remain in the cult. We don't do that as vegans. We hate it. We hate that we are not accepted, right? Generally speaking.
Yeah. I don't take that individual's view because I do like being vegan, even with all the social repercussions.
Yeah.
That's an interesting take that they would prefer to be carnist, but they know it's wrong.
Yeah.
I think that's a rare view, at least with all the vegans I know. There's like, what's the biggest thing you regret with being vegan is I wish I had done it sooner.
Yeah, for sure. But the repercussions are of you being ostracized in society. All I'm saying is that the fact that the repercussions are, we don't glorify that shit. We don't say, well, good. It's good that we're ostracized from society. No, we say the opposite. We should be more assimilated into society. The society should accept us and like act as us, basically, right?
Okay, I get what you're saying now. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I think, and you're relating it to cult behavior, where the cult leader will typically say, like, society, we don't want to be part of society.
Yeah.
Where vegans are like, we want to assimilate society to take on our values and our view.
Yeah.
And our behaviors. Gotcha, yeah.
So back to Gyges and Plato. Is there anything else that we haven't discussed?
I think that's pretty much it in a nutshell. And then if you want to talk, I don't know how familiar you are with Lord of the Rings.
Not so much.
It is interesting how. Yeah, it is interesting how it is used in Lord of the Rings because obviously the invisibility thing only works on hobbits, if I recall. I think for others, like if humans put it on, they get extreme power. I think was his name Sauron was the one who crafted the ring, and he wielded great power with that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it just I remember in the movies everyone was seeking this because they would reach this ultimate power where they could control others, and the moral ones, like I think her name is Galadriel, was the elf. Am I getting that right? It's been a while.
Sorry, fantasy. And, I hate fantasy.
Yeah, I think it was Galadriel, and then Aragorn was the human, and then Gandalf was the wizard, and they always resisted touching it or getting near it because they knew if they had it, they would maybe do immoral things. Mm-hmm. So they didn't even they knew that if they put it on, they would want to act with goodness, but they feared that they would act immorally if they ended up putting it on.
I think that's the reason that some vegans, for instance, don't even like touching anything like leather and stuff like that. I actually had like a when I went vegan, I started having like a really visceral, almost pseudo physical reaction to touching leather and things like that, right? But yeah, I think it's a psychological, right, psychosomatic, that we now hate the smell of meat. For instance, a lot of us, right? I think that's one of those things. We reject it so much. It's from the different side, right? We reject it so much because of the rights violations, partly so that we don't go back to this, to thinking that it's good, maybe. I'm just trying to read into it a little bit, but I don't know, what else would be the reason that the smell of meat, something that we enjoyed very much for most of our lives, all of a sudden becomes almost repugnant, too strong, harsh, puts images in our heads. Is it like the deep connection or the fear of disconnection kind of situation?
Yeah, maybe there were some neurons rewired in the vegan brain, because definitely when I go through the grocery store, the meat aisle just smells. I
That shit was always putrid, though, Joe. I'm talking about the cooked meat.
In my early 20s, I would go into Sprouts, I would go into Whole Foods, and it smelled like nothing. And now I go into those. I went into Sprouts recently, and the whole store reeked of dead bodies. Like, just walking in, I was like, I can't even shop here.
Oh, man.
But I don't even. Maybe it was there before and I turned my brain off. I don't know. It's strange.
Yeah, it sounds kind of. Yeah, I always like. There is a passage in the market, there is like an outdoor market pretty close to my place, and there is an aisle where like the most disgusting meats are sold. I always called it a death aisle, even before I went vegan. It always smelled terrible to me. I was just like, well, the meat smells terrible now, but once I put it on a fucking grill, it's gonna smell amazing, kind of situation. Yeah. I was never a hypocrite, I think, because I always like accepted dogs being eaten and all of that stuff. Kind of weird.
I was definitely a hypocrite.
Yeah. If anybody has questions, please put them in the chat as well. Joe, what do you think Plato would think today about the vegan movement, generally speaking? Are you much familiar with Plato's writings?
So I did read a little bit more on Plato, because actually Justin from Debug Your Brain sent me some stuff on. I don't know if you heard some of his live streams, but he has some interesting resources of slavery apologists, like from the 1800s, and the excuses they would use or the justifications. Yeah. And a lot of them sound really familiar to what carnists say. Yeah. Like natural though, they're subhuman though, it's the way it always was though, that kind of stuff for slavery. Or like the economy will be in shambles if we change though. All these like kind of same arguments you hear.
Yeah.
And I was reading through the resources he sent me, and it actually links to another website that said ancient philosophers and modern philosophers who justified slavery. Mm-hmm. And Plato was one of them.
Ooh.
And he used like naturalistic arguments. So I don't know. Obviously, I think his biographies may be a little mysterious because he's so ancient, like 300 BC or whatever. I would hope that with the rationality and logic that we could provide. But I think you would first have to prove to him that the asymmetry between humans and slave humans are unjustified. Then you have to move to the non-human animals.
Yeah, you'd run NTT on Plato and he would lose.
Pretty much. I'd run NTT on the slaves. Like, oh, they're prisoners of war. Of course they're subhuman. It's like, what, bro?
Christ, bro. Oh my God. Something about, first of all, philosophy. I don't read much of it. It's just not my biggest interest. I'm more interested in like modern psychology kind of type situation. while realizing that I might be reading way too much into it, I accept it way too much. Hey, what's up, Chip? Chip, if you want to join, if you have questions to ask from Joe, you're welcome. You know where we are. Abolitionists also ate meat, Lewis says, so it's okay to enslave humans, though. Yeah, I think Plato, based on this writing, right, where he says, well, you have two sides of the human ethical nature. Three sides, basically. Well, the third side is controlling the two, is saying, well, this is the active side, this is the other active side. So I think Plato would philosophize through it. Well, this side says this, and this side says this, and I'm just like doing this, and this side won, kind of situation. So it just seems like a philosophical cop-out, frankly. I don't know. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do. I think, yeah, it's just kind of maybe a subject of the time he lived in, and it was the view at the time that humans weren't Homo sapien. There were probably like different subsets of humans, but even so, like, what's the asymmetry that justifies that action? And it wouldn't be species or. So yeah, I think we're just a little further ahead, a couple thousand years here, and I do know. I think Pythagoras spoke of animal rights, if I recall correctly.
Well, we only know about it from the writings of the other guy. I don't remember his name. I have a script that I never finished, where in that script, 5 vegans from different timelines meet each other, right? And they have this like conversation, a fight, like a proper vegan fight, right? I never finished that because I thought, I don't know how to make the point that, you know, all of those conversations are kind of inconsequential. And it was.
Did you have Leo Tolstoy on there? Because he has some.
I think so. I did.
He has some. Yeah, he has some really good essays he wrote on. Well, I guess he was vegetarian because in the 1800s that was as good as they got. But
Louis,
yeah, he has some essays on animal rights which are interesting to read.
Yeah, Louis, yes, but that was the name. 5 vegans walking into a bar. That was the name of that script. He asked if they meet in a bar. Yeah, definitely. One of them was, I think, what's her name? Angelo, the modern vegan, black, like African American rights activist. Angelo, fuck me. I should open the script. I should find it. Never mind, it doesn't matter. I think one of them was Leslie Cross as well, but, you know.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Angela Davis, yeah.
You gotta blow the chat up.
Yeah, I know. One of the reasons I stopped the script, I think. Anyways, maybe I'll return to it one day. I have like 60 scripts that I've started writing at some point. Some of them are just ideas, others are much more developed than that. Maybe one day I'll, I don't know, retire somehow, get like, I don't know, inherit some money and retire and do all of those scripts. Could be fun. But in any case,
you said you were more interested in like psychology. So my wife and I actually got some of these like logic cards, and they come like half of them. It's like flashcards. You can like play games with them.
Mm-hmm.
That super nerd, I know.
I didn't.
But half of them are cognitive biases, which are interesting to go through, which are like kind of more of a psychological thing. They're like psychological fallacies almost that people run into.
Yeah.
So it is interesting to see like how psychology and logic can kind of intertwine, and the outcomes you get from that.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Our brain is a result of some kind of a human nature situation, right? But it's like a relic of it. And that relic is perpetuated very heavily by society that doesn't allow us to change ourselves as well, right? So I'm going through all of those concepts that are together, all of them, basically make it incredibly impossible almost for people to change. Resistance to change, for instance, comes from cognitive dissonance, one side of cognitive dissonance being much stronger than the other side. So strong sometimes that it's impermeable, which I call a zealot. For instance, some carnists whom I say, well, if I explain to you that your claim was wrong, would you change your mind? And they say, no, I will still continue eating meat. So I call them meat zealots. So a zealot is somebody that has a belief that is impossible to change. A flat earther will always believe that the earth is flat, even if you show them, even if you run them into space, basically, right? They're not going to agree go into space to see the earth not being flat.
Well, that's not necessarily true. Did you see the recent fun that
Yes.
one guy shipped all the flat earthers down to Antarctica?
Yeah, the final
And the
experiment.
one flat earther,
The final experiment,
guy
though,
did change
it
his
only
mind.
worked in
The
case
one
of
guy.
the one guy changed his mind. The other guy
and
didn't.
then all the flat earthers said he was like always never a flat earther.
Exactly.
I think that guy, I forget which guy it was, but he was like a huge flat earth debater like online, and
Yes.
yeah, he actually changed his view being in Antarctica, and he's like, well shit, I'm here, look.
Yeah.
It has,
And the other
it's
flat
this
earthers
proves-
just debunked that part, said, well, we never claimed that the 24-hour sun. Play the tape, by the way. Everybody always claimed that the 24-hour sun
Yep, they
wouldn't
did.
be compatible with flat earth. But the other two flat earthers that went on the same trip didn't change their mind.
They thought they were in some super football dome or something that was like the Jew lizards
No,
made.
they just assimilated the fact that there is a 24-hour sun, then that there is
There must be a
Antarctica. They just
24-hour sun
assimilated it into
compatible
their
with-
belief about flat earth. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because their model's like a flashlight sun, like circling a flat Earth. It's like, where's the 24 hours on that? And
Joe,
that's why the one guy.
there
changed
is
it.
no model, and that's on purpose. There is no model. There are like 10,000 models and 0 models all at the same time. Most flat earthers will tell you we don't have a model, and that's okay, right? Because we don't know. It's unknowable, whatever the fuck. It's unchangeable. They construct their entire. That's what I said. It's a cognitive dissonance where one side is so strong that nothing can permeate it, because cognitive dissonance is created from two sides kind of fighting each other, right, or contradicting each other. But when you have one side that is just like basically impermeable, it's impossible for you to change your mind. Because every new information is going to assimilate into it to support the claim somehow. Yeah.
Yeah, the one cognitive bias that I've been really looking out for is called the curse of knowledge. Are you aware of that one?
No. The curse of knowledge.
So
Let me write it down.
The curse of knowledge, and vegans fall for this a lot. It's good to recognize this one, but I'll just read it. I pulled it up.
Go on.
This is going to say it back better than me. It says, once you understand something, you presume it is obvious to everyone. And then it goes on to say, things make sense once they make sense.
Yeah.
So it can be hard to remember why they didn't. We build complex networks of understanding and forget how intricate the path to our available knowledge really is. This bias is closely related to the hindsight bias, wherein you will tend to believe that an event was predictable all along once it had occurred. We have difficulty reconstructing our own prior mental states of confusion and ignorance once we have very clear knowledge.
That is very, very interesting. I think I touched on that a little bit, kind of. From the other side, actually. I touched on it in my video about, what was it? I think the change video. That some people hold beliefs that are based on some dude said something once, and you start holding that belief so strongly that you can't let it go. But once you let it go, everything else becomes cringe, and you can't believe that people hold those beliefs that you also held once. And yeah, it's the vegan. What you just described, I think it's the vegan amnesia, right? Basically.
Yes, it's like an amnesia. You wake as soon as the light goes on in your head, the light bulb's turned on, or the switch is flipped that you're vegan for life. You're like, this is going to be so obvious for everyone. I'm just going to go tell everyone. They're just going to get it right away, and everyone's just like, what? Yeah. You're like, how's this not making sense to you? It's like so obvious to me. But yeah, you forget that it took like all of these different interconnecting parts to come together, and you're like, veganism, and yeah, you forget. You have the amnesia, like you said.
You did veganism like the yeah, those like cartoons of like two things joining powers and become a different thing. Like what is it called?
Is that like Captain Planet or something? Or was Captain Planet was like the rings? I think I forget.
I don't know. I don't remember all of that stuff. I don't remember anything. Vegan amnesia. Anyways, it must be immediate lack of B12.
It's the B12 is it's not hitting your brain. The incomplete, fake B12 vitamins that you're taking aren't bioavailable, and the amnesia has set in.
Yeah. Joe is based, Asa said. What's up, Asa? Yeah, Joe is
hey,
based.
Asa.
So, put one in the chat if you think Joe should start a YouTube channel.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. Yeah. The ones are gonna come in a second, Joe. And then what are you gonna do? Then what are you gonna do?
Oh, fuck. I think I have to buy a better mic, because this sounds like shit, I'm sure.
No, it sounds alright. I boosted it. It sounds better. But yeah, definitely needs a renewal of some kind.
We're gonna have a little fun here. I have an idea we can talk through, and maybe the chat can join in as well. Let's assume you have this ring, right? And let's also build into the hypothetical that it will not corrupt you.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do?
Ooh. So it makes you invisible.
It makes you invisible, and we can also just build into the hypothetical, like you won't leave any footprints, fingerprints, there's no trace, invisible.
Invisible, insoundable as well, if you know what I mean.
Sure. Yeah. No sound. No. You're just undetectable.
Undetectable to a naked eye or a electronic eye. What would you do?
Undetectable through current human means.
Yeah. Lewis says unrelated yet to the question. Speaking of B12, there's a vegan on YouTube who claims B12 isn't necessary for humans. He promotes some book about. Come on, man.
I think that guy sounds like a quack, and he should probably be deplatformed.
Yeah. I think we, as vegans, should hold him accountable. Promoting not taking B12 supplement is incredibly dangerous. Quite a few vegans say that, Lewis. Quite a few people with platforms say that. And I have a big issue with it. People should... vegans shouldn't take the chance. They should take B12. We shouldn't cope about the fact that carnists have an issue with supplements. We should debunk their issue. That's the way to go.
I love unnatural stuff. I love fluoride. I love seed oils. And I love vitamins.
Yeah. I should be fucking spawned. Somebody reach out to Naturello and spawn me. Oh man.
And I want to get my Soylent sponsor going. Here's my seed oil soy sludge with vitamins added.
Nice.
It's good shit.
We're shilling for shit for free. Somebody should pay us for it.
But go buy Soylent right now. I get $0 in return.
Navi asks the advantage use it, disadvantage question mark. What would be the disadvantage of using this ring?
Wait, who asked what now?
Navia asked. Advantage, use it, question mark, disadvantage? Oh, disadvantage, question mark.
What does that refer to?
Not sure. I think what would be the disadvantage of not using the ring?
Oh yeah, we're going back to the fun experiment. Yeah, if you had the ring, hypothetically, you can do anything, no repercussions, no punishment.
That's not how it
What
works
would
usually,
you
Joe.
do?
This is an unrealistic hypothetical. What are you doing?
Unrealistic hypothetical, though. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's what Socrates said to Glaucon. He was like, "This is an unrealistic hypothetical, though. I will not talk to you anymore."
Yeah. So yeah, it's a good question. What would I do with the how did you call it? Not invisibility, but undetectability ring.
We'll say undetectability ring, undetectable by current human means.
Yeah.
There's no
Can I
like
bring
radar
stuff
or
with it,
any...
or am I supposed to be like naked walking around? Can my clothes and
Sure,
whatever
yeah,
I touch can't be seen?
I-
Yeah. So the obvious
think-
thing is I would probably go to every slaughterhouses, every farm on Earth, and document the horrific shit they do. And I would create a map on a global level that every farm that ever existed is on that map with the fucked up shit they do to animals documented. That's what I would do. I think we
That'd
have
be
enough
interesting.
things to do it anyways. I think we have enough things to create a map that maps almost every farm, every slaughterhouse on Earth. Basically, small.
I think I might have seen someone setting that up already.
Yeah,
Where did
I
see
think I
that?
saw that as well. It was set up only for Spain, I think. I don't think I have the link to it though anymore. If
I
somebody
saw that
knows what I'm
recently.
talking
I'm
about.
blanking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually an interactive map, and you can zoom in and like search around, and it shows you all the slaughterhouses and farms.
Yeah. But it just
I
shows
forget
the
where I saw
locations. It doesn't show what happens, does it?
I think it was crowdsourced, and most of the info was blank, but some of them had info, and then like even video documentation of what was happening there. That's an interesting one. I think it'd be interesting to go to every single one, set up a live stream camera, and then like at once like hit the
Turn
button,
it on.
and
Yeah.
then it goes live, and it's just like spammed. It's
Yeah.
like, here's what's happening.
Yeah.
Literally the glass window Paul McCartney quote.
Yeah.
It's just like everyone sees everything all at once, what's happening.
Here's the thing though, Joe. They would carnists would find a way to not look at it. Or to say it's CGI, it's AI generated, it's something.
I think if I had the ring, I would go a little bit further. Maybe it's not allowed to be set on YouTube, but I think you can get the implication I'm getting at is I would probably lop some heads of these people doing these actions.
Yeah.
And kind of force the more progressive people to be in charge and get rid of these slaughterhouse owners and factory farm owners, people running the big meat companies, and try and find a way to get the logical vegan people, like a logical vegan oligarchy or something going. I don't even know what the best governmental structure would be, but I'd probably have to do some research on that first.
Yeah. So like total reconstruction of the world's governments, and
you'd
a
have
bunch
to like
of,
go to each world power and
a bunch of unalivings of people who are in power.
basically unalive down the line, like the succession, the line of succession, until you have logical vegans running everything.
Well, then it's 99% of the population unalived, sweetie.
Just the ones in charge, though. The rest of them are these.
The rest
are
will
these
follow.
Glaucian-
The rest will follow suit,
Yeah,
aren't they? That's what they tell us. They say, "Well, whatever is a societal norm is what I will adhere to."
We make the societal norms. That's what we follow. The Glauconian thought that people will just do what they do to avoid punishment.
Yeah.
So we put the laws in place that you must be vegan.
Yeah, that cheap guy, that vegan, fuck me. That cheap guy say go into banks, take the cash and donate it to vegan companies. Fair enough. Louis called you vegan
Donated
Uzi.
all to ACE. Vegan Nazi.
Yeah.
Vegan Nazi. There you go.
I call it Nuzi to avoid problems. I can barely swear now on my own goddamn channel. It's monetization shit.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, absolutely. Bianca says, if the ring doesn't turn me into Gollum, then I expose the animal industry and free as many animals as possible. Yeah, freeing the animals would be actually...
My precious.
My precious, yeah. Freeing the animals, yeah, that's a nice addition, Bianca. Good idea. Anyone wearing
Can we
jeans?
swear
I
in the
don't know
chat?
what it means. Yes, you can swear anywhere you want, Tone, but if I swear, I get demonetized, and then less pennies, and literal pennies it is, less pennies go to sanctuaries, hopefully one day. I never thought an invisibility ring is that big of a deal. It depends, yeah, I guess. It depends if you use it for good or bad. You can use it for good, I suppose. But yeah, it's not the best of powers, I think. Like, I would prefer a bigger power. I would prefer the power to push the button to make, to liberate all animals immediately. That's what I want.
Yeah, the thought experiment is just kind of a simple thought of there's a hypothetical route if you had that ring that you could be granted power. Mm-hmm. And it is a superpower, essentially. Like, you have a power, and the theory that the philosophers were discussing in the ancient time that this power, most people would use it for evil.
Mm-hmm. Do they actually say, do they give it a percentage, a good Jordan Peterson percentage, or do they just say most people will be corrupted by this ring?
I do believe Glaucon said most, if not all, would act with impunity immorally.
That kind
because
of
there's no fear of punishment. Yeah, and that's why I related to veganism, because it is kind of like that. It's like most people are carnist, even when confronted. It's like it's really rare for someone to just like, all right, I'm gonna change my behavior. I'm gonna do the right thing, even if it doesn't even benefit me.
Yeah.
Because I have no justification for this. So.
Yeah. It took me 2 years, and I know exactly what was stopping me. It wasn't even the taste, I think, because I'm like, I like all kinds of stuff. I think it was, first of all, I genuinely thought that I will decrease my health, that I will die younger, and while dying younger, I would also be like desolate. I did think that. But the main part was, what would people say? Which is weird. I've always been an outsider. I always, everywhere, ever since childhood. So it's weird.
I think going atheist in my teens really helped, because that kind of was like, okay, now I'm an outsider. So it was like, yeah, I've already experienced that once.
Yeah. Wow.
So this was just like, whatever. I'll do this again. Yeah. I'll just cut out more people.
Yeah. So can I ask what religion is that too?
Oh, I was raised Roman Catholic.
Oh, not the worst thing to live. Like you weren't Mormon or something.
No. Yeah. The creepiest one was just like when you're a kid, they bring you into this confessional booth and you have to like tell this creepy priest all your sins. But you're like 12, and you're like, I lied to my mommy, and it's just like, it makes you feel like such guilt and shame for just existing as a child. Where, yeah, there's better ways to go about teaching children that kind of stuff, not like this intense guilt with a stranger person in power that is apparently a direct link to God, and then recite this mumbo jumbo and you're cured.
Yeah,
it was
10 Hail Marys.
Some weird stuff.
Yeah.
10 Hail Marys, exactly. And I remember doing it. I remember being in the church, and I had the freaking rosary or whatever, and I was like, came out of the confessional booth, and I recited the Hail Marys and the Our Fathers. Yeah, it's weird.
The one saving grace that I was never religious. Not really. Like, I was in a religious school for like a year. But once my parents saw that I'm actually being swayed towards it, because that's what religion does. Once you find yourself in it, they kind of try to sway you. Hey, what's up, Diego? But once my parents saw that I was starting to be swayed by religion, they just pulled me out of that school and put me in a secular school, which was also very religious. I live in a religious area, but not as much, right? They had more secular situation going. And today I'm an anti-theist, and I think religion is...
Based?
Yeah.
Welcome to the club.
I've been in the club for a very long time, Joe.
I love being in the club with you.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I think just even on Discord when we talk to people, the main foot in the door, not foot in the door, the main doorstop is religion. People just follow their religion blindly, or follow the interpretation of their religion blindly, and it's just I think is ruining everybody's life. It's ruining the world, kind of situation.
Yeah, it is pure brain rot.
Yeah, pure brain rot. On that note, I think everybody, thank you very, very much for coming. Thank you for coming, Joe. I appreciate you breaking down this concept. This was very interesting. I think it should be your first video on your new YouTube channel. But you said it.
I'm gonna get my expensive mic and do my voiceover. I have to learn video editing for a video essay.
Well, I can edit your first video if you want. I can help you out with that. So thank you everybody for coming. Yes, Joe is leeduli. That's how you know him. And yeah, see you next time, guys.
Thanks.